Hi everybody, it's the Gregarious Giggler here, and today I'm coming to you to talk about men, I think. Today I want to talk about how transgenderism affects us all as individuals and as a society as a whole. I've been leading up to this point in the last 4 installments of this discussion. So let's start with this.
Parents, teachers, and students all across the country tonight are experiencing a wide range of reactions to threats from President Obama about restroom choice for transgenders in public schools. Many are outraged, others are relieved, but almost everybody is talking about it.
2 days ago, the Trump administration retracted an Obama-era guideline that claimed the 45-year-old Title IX law required all public schools to let transgender students use the bathroom and the locker room of their choice. The White House says bathroom issues are properly a concern for state and local governments, a position that is getting the administration absolutely savaged on the left.
Hi.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's your name, Gerard?
Gerard.
Hi, my name's Andy.
Okay.
I just came by because I wanted to make sure that I was allowed to use the women's room before I went in.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's correct. Yep.
That's fine?
Yes.
Okay. If any of the women have a problem, do you let them know that?
Yeah. They can come and we'll speak to them.
Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Then there's this.
Grammatical gender is the concept found in about a quarter of the world's languages that you can sort all nouns into male or female. English doesn't have grammatical gender. It used to, in Old English, and we've still got a couple of words like blonde and blonde that change depending on gender. But we don't have to worry about filing everything into one box or another. But what we do have is the third-person pronouns he, she, and it. And that is a problem. If I want to refer to you, the viewer, I have to use the pronoun he or she, which is ludicrous for several reasons. 1, it's an unwieldy 3 syllables, and it sounds awful. 2, there are folks who don't fit into or don't want to declare as either of those categories, and if that surprises you, you need to get out more. Since it is a bit dehumanising, there's really no suitable English pronoun to use. Except, English does have a solution, and lots of people are using it, and a lot of the old stick-in-the-mud folks hate it. The answer is they. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because some people are they. Get over it.
It's a real news story. It's not a joke. A legislator in California has introduced legislation that, if it passes, will impose prison time on people who fail to use other people's preferred pronouns. State Senator Scott Wiener's bill would apply to nursing homes and other elderly care facilities and would impose up to a year in prison on caregivers who, quote, willfully and repeatedly fail to use a transgender resident's preferred name or pronouns.
And this.
Lactatia is the deviest diva you could ever think of.
And a transgender woman says she was kicked out of a Tempe bar.
Let's bring it back to that earlier headline. Now, what is a transgender woman?
Yes.
What does that even mean now?
Okay.
Can you break?
I thought it means,
She used to be a guy.
but now it's a woman.
Okay.
This is
So weird.
Are you just saying a woman then? I can't even keep up anymore.
Holy shit! I really hope that's also how he reports the weather. Wait, it used to be rainy and now it's sunny? So now it's just sunny? Now I can't even keep up anymore!
I cannot stand John Oliver. I hate everything he says. He's not funny. He's an insufferable jerk who has a tiny little soapbox he stands on every week, and who vents about the laws in a country he wasn't even born in, while living freely and benefiting prosperously in said country. Here's an example of why I don't like John Oliver.
We are now in city after city watching ordinances that say that your 7-year-old daughter, if she goes into the restroom, cannot be offended, and you can't be offended if she's greeted there by a 42-year-old man who feels more like a woman than he does a man. Now, I wish someone had told me when I was in high school that I could have felt like a woman when it came time to take showers in PE. I'm pretty sure I would have found my feminine side and said, Coach, I think I'd rather shower with the girls today. You're laughing because it sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it? There's something inherently wrong with forcing little children to be a part of this social experiment.
No, but there is something inherently wrong with forcing us to listen to your fucked up daydreams about all the sex crimes you would have committed as a teenager had you just been able to find a legal loophole.
So what sex crimes are you talking about, first off? Is Huckabee talking about something that is so wildly far removed from what you would have done too? If you had gotten away with it in high school? John, or are you gay? Most teenage boys would like to sneak into the girls' locker room and have a peek. He never said he wanted to rape them. He never said he wanted to molest them. He never said he wanted to do anything naughty with them, except do what most normal boys that age want to do. And even later on in life, which is look at naked girls. What planet do you live on? You don't like looking at naked women? And if you say no, you're either lying or, again, you're gay. I might add to that the audience roars with applause and woots because he actually contorts what Huckabee says, making it seem horrific in nature. Again, these are not fantasies of his, and they were not sex crimes that he was suggesting. They are simply the facts of nature and life. Teenage boys want to look at naked girls and women. Men want to look at naked girls and women.
And he promised he'd quit all that stuff after he got out. But then he goes and gets himself killed. Such an asshole.
I can only imagine what you must be going through. I think that...
Honestly, you know, if I knew what he was up to, I'd be happy to tell you. But we didn't talk much.
Yeah. So... Did you, when did he, what, so Hutch, do you got any more questions?
Yeah, well, sure, we could, what's your sign?
Gemini.
What do you weigh?
And then what does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with anything. And just answer the question, please, ma'am.
Around 115, I guess, give or take a pound. I wish I could be more helpful.
Stop. Don't do that. You've been great. I mean, it's terrific. We got what we needed.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Apparently this is news to him and his audience.
That's weird. And that kind of baseless fear-mongering is everywhere.
What baseless fear-mongering are you talking about? How is it okay for a man to be in the same bathroom as a little girl? Not even a little girl, a woman. I live in Europe. I'm very familiar with unisex bathrooms. I hate them. They are not fun. I don't like using the restroom when there is a man right outside of my stall washing his hands. Do I think he's going to rape me? No, not necessarily. But I don't like that he's allowed to be there. Possibly looking through the keyhole, be able to hear what I'm doing in the stall, and or accost me when I come out of it. I don't like any of those things. This is not fear. It's called propriety. Why do you suppose we've had designated bathrooms for men and women for so long, John? Do you suppose it had something to do with modesty and the respect for each individual gender? Would you like it if I walked into the men's room and stood next to you while you used the urinal? Probably not. Though I'm sure there are some of you guys out there who get off on stuff like that. But generally, no. Men don't want women in their bathrooms just like women don't want men in our bathrooms.
I can't go in there. That's the men's room.
But let's move on.
When Gainesville, Florida was trying to pass one of these bills. Okay, let's break that bullshit down, because first, assaulting children is still illegal. Secondly, someone abusing a non-discrimination ordinance to assault someone in a bathroom is almost unheard of. It's a borderline imaginary crime, like dragon rustling or space bestiality.
Phenomena. A jury Wednesday afternoon found a Casper resident guilty of one count of first-degree sexual abuse of a child and one count of second-degree sexual abuse after a 3-day trial in district court.
The 6-woman, 6-man jury deliberated for about 2 hours before reaching its decision to convict Miguel Martinez, who identifies as female and is also known as Michelle. Martinez was charged in March with raping and touching a 10-year-old girl while she was in a bathroom at her home.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
Sure, it's terrible, but it doesn't really happen. Besides, it is so much easier for everyone when people are allowed to use the bathroom that matches their gender identity rather than one that might match the genitalia they were born with. That is why the little pictures on bathroom doors are stereotypical representations of men and women and not biologically accurate depictions of penises and vaginas.
No, John. The reason we've always had signs with pictures of women in dresses and men in pants instead of vaginas and penises on public bathroom doors is because for many, many, many years we seemed not to be confused as to who wore the dress and who wore the pants.
For a long time, a lot of people have felt like that they don't fit into the mold of primarily he or primarily she, or maybe they feel they're a blend of both.
So there's a blend? Right, okay.
And that there's not really a word for that.
So you're not even sure what you want to be called. And yet you're making us call you something completely different than what biology would indicate you are. Makes sense. Yeah, no, not confusing at all. Please, continue.
I found out about gender non-specific pronouns ze and here, and I thought that was funny. That makes people trip up, because really, technically, I'm not a she. I'm not a he either.
You're not a she or a he. What are you exactly? An alien?
There's a lot of situations that we just don't need to necessarily have gendered language.
Of course you have to have gendered language. You can't go around saying things like, I'm in love with them. That would indicate that you're in love with more than one person. You can't go around saying, I think they're cute. That would indicate that you think multiple people are cute. You can't say, I want to marry them. That would be polygamy.
If you're unsure about somebody's pronoun, pull them aside and ask, hey, what are your pronouns?
What if I don't want to pull aside every person that I meet and ask them what their preferred pronoun is. I mean, honestly, can you picture a boardroom meeting with 20 people or more, and when a person walks in, they introduce themselves to each individual and has to ask each and every one of them what their preferred pronoun is, and each one is different than their biological sex? Yeah, that wouldn't get confusing, complicated, or be potentially dangerous to your job if you messed up more than once with the preferred pronoun of each person. These people are not operating with logic.
Their gender is still valid regardless of whether or not you understand it.
Yes, but it shouldn't be that complicated for me to identify what gender they are, for it to be that difficult for me to understand it.
Misgendering a person by using an incorrect pronoun is an act of disrespect.
Okay, let's get something straight. Ha! No pun intended. I actually don't have to respect you. There is no law that says I have to respect you as an individual. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'll go on. That does not mean, having said that I don't have to respect you, that I shouldn't respect you or that I can't respect you. But you are not the arbitrator of what the word respect means. To me, using the language that I was raised to learn and speak and consider a part of me is, from my perspective, respecting it. I feel like I'm disrespecting the English language when I use the pronoun he in lieu of she. And likewise, I would never think to use the words ze or zay just because someone tells me I have to, or they will feel disrespected if I don't. There are so many bigger problems in the world than feeling disrespected over the pronoun that someone uses to describe you. In all honesty, I can make the very logical assumption that for those of you who've been watching my vlogs, there are several of you out there who don't respect me or my views, right? So even if I feel disrespected, who says you have to respect me? If someone told you you had to respect me and my views, I'm guessing you'd tell them to go fly a kite or worse, right? Right.
Everybody else in the world out there can say, I am, and they identify themselves, and everybody believes them. But when I say I am, I don't know why people just don't believe us.
There's nothing to believe. I believe in facts. I believe in nature, even science. If you were born a boy, you are a boy. If you were born a girl, you are a girl. This is not rocket science, people. And so why is this affecting us, individuals and society as a whole alike? The use of supposed incorrect pronouns in the workplace are becoming grounds for termination. Teachers in school are being called out and possibly being dismissed when they don't call their students by their preferred pronouns. And it's affecting kids, non-transgender kids, stability and confusing them as well.
But first, hundreds show up as a school board takes on transgender education in the classroom.
I want to be the one that teaches my kids about these controversial issues, not the school. I'm the parent. I know what's best for my kids.
They all have their own differences, and they need to be accepted, and their peers need to understand this.
So this was alarming at the young age, and that it was outside of the curriculum, and there was no notice given.
I think it's unacceptable for people to be bullying a child, because they don't like their life choices.
You'll note the difference between the two moms. The mom who doesn't want her kids exposed to this stuff, and the mom who thinks kids should be allowed to make life choices at the age of 5. Just the hair, for example. And yes, I am judging.
This all stems from a June incident inside a Rockland Academy charter school where a teacher read 2 books, including I Am Jazz, on what it means to be transgender to her kindergarten class. The book, according to the school, was not only age appropriate, but part of the California Department of Education's recommended reading list and given to the teacher by a transgender student in the process of transitioning. Some parents said their children were left traumatized and confused, yet others...
I had a daughter who happened to be in that classroom. This has been an opportunity for her to learn about some topics that I at least would not have had the courage to address with her.
You wouldn't have had the courage? What are you smoking at home? You don't need to have courage to teach or not to teach your children about transgenderism. You need to have the good sense not to expose your 5-year-old to insanity, not to confuse a little person who is barely aware of their existence at the age of 5, let alone try and confound their reality, the world, before they even learn how to ride a bike.
Endeavor to notify is too loose, in my opinion. Who is accountable for that? What will we be notified of?
It's impossible to say that every controversial topic, the teacher's going to be able to give a heads up ahead of time.
Totally inappropriate. I'm not even talking about the material. I was a teacher for over 10 years. You have to notify the school of every piece of material you bring into the classroom. You can't just hand out things willy-nilly without advising your employers beforehand. There are rules. Oh, wait. We're living in an alternative universe, though, where a man is a woman and a woman can be a man. Guess rules are out the window at this point.
I'm glad that there are people coming out to support the school, the family, the child.
Pam Douglas was one of many who supported the transgender lesson. She says doing otherwise is simply intolerant.
At the crux of it, it's sad. I mean, it's bigotry.
No, it's not bigotry. It's easy for you to assign that name to us, though. But it really is not bigotry. We are operating on a logical system that you people are not. We actually care about the well-being and development of children, including your own. We are not out to be mean and hateful. We are out to help kids grow in a world where confusion and abnormality do not reign supreme.
To the Rockland Family Academy of Schools, that book was acceptable under policy.
Oh, just stop the tape right there. Isn't that sign so typical of the liberals? She read a book. Yes, she did read a book, and it wasn't Dr. Seuss. See, context matters. Yes, reading books is a good thing, but it also depends on the material. Would you want the teacher to have read The Shining to 5-year-olds? That's a book too. No, probably not. Because the children would have run home screaming their heads off, scared.
Why do you have a copy of The Shining in your freezer?
Oh, I was reading it last night and I got scared, so.
As the one woman in the audience said, her child came home scared and confused as to what gender she might be.
I've been wearing like my sister's tutus since I was like 3s and 4s, even like 2s, and I've been dancing around in like little pink dresses and stuff. So yeah, I think I've had lactation inside of me since I was born.
Okay, this kid is clearly gonna grow up gay or transgender or just confused. Probably all 3, actually.
And that's why I love that song, Born This Way.
We just want our kids to express themselves.
Wow, look at the mom. Doesn't she look just so June Cleaver? I'm sorry. I know that I really shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But, the apple sure didn't fall far from the tree. That's all I have to say. I mean, here's the thing. I have friends who have tattoos. I have friends who have piercings. But I'm gonna be honest here. Looking at that woman, I wouldn't hire her if I were running a business. I wouldn't want her being in charge of taking care of my kids if my kids wanted to hang out with her kids. I'm gonna judge. I'm totally judging. This is me judging. And you're probably judging me for judging. So there.
We just want our kids to express themselves however they see fit. As long as it's respectful and they're nice people, we really don't care.
And there you go. She doesn't care. She doesn't care at all what her kids do, just as long as they don't hurt anyone. I mean, we wouldn't care if in the long term he's hurting himself, but dressing up like a drag queen at 8 years old is a really good message that we want our child to have. We really want our son to be a drag queen. Right? That's what I would want my child to do when he's 8.
When he was about 7, we started watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I think when he saw that that was an actual art form and they could be whatever they wanted, I think he decided that that's when drag was going to be like his life.
Great role model for this kid, RuPaul. I'm just curious, does this little boy have a father? I'm guessing not.
I know people would go up to their parents and tell them that they want to be a drag queen. And then their parents would be like, you shouldn't even know what that is. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't think that other people should judge what people do.
It's overwhelming. You feel overwhelmed with pride that your child is, expressing themselves and showing the world, and it's being so well received, and she's pretty good at what she does.
So, wait a minute. Is it he or she? Because I thought this was a boy who dresses up in drag, but is he transgender? Is that why when he puts the wig on, he's all of a sudden she? I mean, she?
If you're shy because of people that don't want you to do something, then you have to just man up and be like, okay, I'm not listening to you. I can do what I want.
Oh no, he didn't. Did he just say man up? I'm sorry. Are you a man or a girl? Make up your mind! And what is this teaching kids they can do whatever they want to do when they get to be 18 or 19 and they realize that, oops, they can't do whatever they want to do?
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello. That kid looked really scared when that grown man in a dress and makeup walked in. Yeah, that's gonna be you in 20 years. Watch out. That's it for today, everybody. Did you like this video, everybody? Well, click like down below. Even if you didn't like it, be a lover, not a hater. Click like. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, The Gregarious Giggler, here on YouTube. Make sure to check out my blog series, Why You Don't Have a Girlfriend and Why, as a Result, I Don't Have a Boyfriend, which you can find at thegregariousgiggler.blogspot.com. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day. Ciao!
Hello?
Hello. Is this the manager for the white Target?
I'm one of the assistant managers. How can I help you?
Okay, I have a very serious complaint.
What exactly happened?
My daughter went into your Target to purchase a hat because she is out selling Girl Scout cookies. And why in the hell would you allow grown-ass men into the ladies' room at Target while my 9-year-old daughter was there trying to simply relieve herself?
No, you have every right to be
wearing a polka dotted dress and then lifted up his skirt to reveal what can only be described as an acorn squash, which has been left in the sun too long. That's how my daughter came back and described it to me. Do you understand that when I send my daughter in to buy a hat to Target, I do not expect her to come out in need of a biology lesson? If it is your policy to allow people to use any restroom by which they identify as some made-up terminology that you've attempted to describe very unsuccessfully with gender, if that is Target's policy, please do tell, pray, how could you expect this not to happen?
You know, sir, I wish I had a better response to your follow-up question right now.
And I wish I had a daughter at 9 years old who had yet to see a penis. So we both have things we're yearning for that we cannot achieve in this lifetime at this point forward. You understand?
Okay.
Daddy, what happened? Daddy, what is that? Daddy, why is that different from what I use to tinkle? Hey, Daddy, why is there some thread where I have a space? Hey, Daddy, what is that supposed to do? Is that why I can't pee standing up? Hey, Daddy, where can I buy one of those? Hey, Daddy, that looks fun. These are not questions I want to have to answer my 9-year-old daughter. You understand?
Right.